I had a few thoughts and observations about the character Kramer, Cosmo Kramer, on Seinfeld, played by Michael Richards. Now, Kramer is definitely not my favorite character on the show. That would be George Costanza. But Kramer is, of course, a very funny character, and I think one of the most interesting. Because I was thinking about recently about how Kramer is kind of weird in the sense that he is almost feels like something out of a different show. Because Seinfeld is a show that is, of course, known for being kind of very realistic, and that's what gives it its kind of relatability to the average person. You have so many kind of stories and characters and plot lines, which are all pulled directly from like real life experiences, had by people like Larry David, the co-creator Jerry Seinfeld, other writers and stuff. But Kramer is a bit different in that a lot of stuff that he gets involved with is not realistic. It's not real things. It's cartoony. Now, one thing to know is that Kramer is based on a real person, a guy named Kenny Kramer, who was a neighbor and friend of Larry David at one point in his life. And there are certain things that Kenny Kramer said that they, took engaged with the character Kramer. Things like having, lots of sex with women without relationships, kind of the weird entrepreneurialness, all the different schemes and stuff. But a lot of the specific things that Kramer gets involved with, the specific actions, the specific plot lines, that's kind of made up or maybe possibly taken from other people, and put together into this one person. But Seinfeld is kind of able to, the series is kind of able to make it work, despite the fact that it almost feels like something out of a different show. It's very cartoony and kind of unrealistic. And there's a couple ways it does this. One is that it often keeps Kramer's, really weird stories kept in subplots. So you can have Jerry doing his thing, Elaine doing her thing, George doing his thing, and then you can have Kramer over here doing something that feels like very different, kind of very out of place, like things that most people wouldn't do, like, say, being a grown adult who joins a children's karate class and, just gets involved with it. Everybody kind of just acts like it's normal. He's carpooling with the other kids and their moms, and everyone's just kind of like, yeah, whatever. Although when you have them kind of join the other plots, they kind of react to it appropriately like a real person would. And another thing is that, they keep it not like too out there. Like obviously Kramer isn't getting involved in anything too unrealistic like sci-fi or fantasy. It's the kind of stuff that most people wouldn't do, like say, I don't know, making a coffee table book about coffee tables. But a person could technically could do, and it could happen that way. There's a lot of weird things in the world, and the Kramer kind of could be a real person, but not really. And it's able to kind of keep that balance where like it's out there weird, but not like impossible. And they're kind of able to balance it well. And in episodes where it's just like all the main characters interacting and it's not different plots, they're kind of able to basically just keep it where Kramer is kind of just this weird, kind of quirky, eccentric guy who interacts with the other characters, and it's all kind of kept within a certain realm of realism, but they balance it out by still kind of keeping it feel like his character. It's not like a different person from the guy who does that other stuff. It all feels like the same person. So they balance that out very well, and it's just all done very well. Well-written character overall.